Good morning, and you're very welcome to this morning's live. This morning we're going to be talking all about bathrooms. Now, bathrooms, even though your bathroom, your ensuite, your guest WC, these are often the smallest rooms in the house, but they can be really complex little projects because they involve absolutely every single trade, from a plumber to a tiler to an electrician. You name it, you need everybody crammed in there. So there's an awful lot to plan, there's an awful lot to think about, huge amount to consider. So I am absolutely delighted to have Jacqueline Walsh from Tile Style joining me today. Jacqueline is so experienced, she's been working in the industry for so long. She has a wealth of knowledge and information. So we're really going to pick her brains this morning and make sure that we can cover as much as we can to help you guys who are tackling a bathroom project, just to make it as stress-free as absolutely possible. So I see Jacqueline waiting there. I'm just going to invite her to join. And thanks so much to everybody who sent in questions. So we will go through them and try and cover as many as we can this morning. Hi, Jacqueline. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for joining this morning.
No problem. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Really, really good. So I was just saying in the intro, Jacqueline, these projects, even though they're quite a small project and people think, oh, it'll be really quick and easy, they're pretty complex because they involve so many people. So I guess, you and I have talked a lot about this, and there are lots of things people can do. It's just about proper planning, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah. And I suppose, people think it's the smallest room in the house and it's straightforward and simple. But like you said, you've got plumbers, tilers, electricians, joiners maybe. And
exactly, yeah.
It can get very overwhelming very quickly as well.
Definitely. Well, Jacqueline, I guess to start, because I shared some of the beautiful photos when I met you out at the showroom, and we got so many questions about the products and stuff. So could you give us just a quick overview of what you guys stock in terms of bathrooms for people?
Yeah, I suppose, well, we're probably better known for tiles, so that's first anyway. But we've quite a large bathroom showroom. We have the flagship store for porcelain in the country, and that it's quite a big showroom that covers everything you need for a bathroom. We all brands like Antonio Lupi, Cielo, Nick Design, who else? Just Taps Plus, and we've probably another 20 or 30 so different suppliers, from brassware to toilets to furniture. Everything you need, basically.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think that's what's so amazing about your showroom in particular, is that people can see how absolutely every single component of a bathroom works together in so many different combinations and permutations. So, it can be overwhelming, if you're undecided, but at the same time, it just helps you think of the space as a whole. And I guess we're going to touch on that a little bit later. It's not about picking everything in isolation. It's really important to think about everything together when you're choosing your bathrooms. So yeah, brilliant. So I guess one of the things that we would see, and I think you guys as well would see, is people not leaving enough time to order stuff. So can you talk to us a bit about lead times and what people need to think about if they're planning on ordering stuff for their bathroom?
Yeah, I suppose you probably don't decide you're going to renovate the bathroom or build a new bathroom today to do it tomorrow. So if you're in that situation, I mean, we stock quite a lot. Bathroom anyway. So we would have, if somebody needed to do a bathroom on Tuesday, we would have a bathroom in stock for them, and a decent one. But if you're looking at doing special finishes or coloured bathware, which is quite popular at the moment, you'd be looking at around 10 to 12 weeks in some circumstances for those products, which is fine if you've planned everything and you're organised. An issue, and if you've a particular idea in mind and you have a particular look, and you have to give yourself enough time, because if you don't, you'll end up sacrificing some main key design elements that you picked, like the brassware and like your brushed brass or whatever, or your if you don't leave enough time, then they're the elements that are going to get sacrificed. So planning and time. Like that, you definitely see a difference in the finish when there's time put into it. Like I said, if somebody has left it to the last minute, they generally do have to sacrifice certain elements, and they just don't get the look that they had planned, and it kind of shows as well. So yeah, as soon as you think that you're going to do it, get in and start looking.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I guess it is like anything. The more time you give things, the better the end result. So, especially with the bathroom, it's not something that you want to rush at all. No, brilliant. So then I think, Jacqueline, for many people, one of the most important things is the shower. So whether it's the water pressure, the size, like that is the main feature. And I know we spoke to one of our lovely clients recently, and she actually took out her bath to be able to get in a really lovely walk-in shower. So have you any tips and advice for people when thinking about their showers and what to think about?
Yeah, I suppose like we would have clients, we'd say we'd have a client who's building a new house, might have 3 or 4 bathrooms, and it's always best, I suppose, to find out who's going to use those bathrooms. So,
Okay, yeah.
you know, if one is going to be predominantly used by kids, do they need a big, massive rain head shower, or would you rather put in a slider so they can adjust it as they get older?
Yes.
We find that, yeah, a lot of clients really like the idea of a rain head in the
Mm-hmm.
ceiling, in the wall. And again, it's just to decide that, you know, do you like it because it looks great, or are you going to use it, or is it both? In
Yeah.
terms of water pressure as well, like a pump is generally needed anyway to get a decent amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And advise you in store anyway as to whether you know, discuss what you have at home or what your contractor is going to install.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, like you said, walk-in showers are pretty much probably the most popular type at the moment. The less glass there as well, the better. And yeah, I suppose like you said, a lot of people are taking out their baths, or I suppose depending on the rooms you have, changing the showers in the stand-in inset bath as well.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Bit of a facelift.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then you mentioned just the glass and the shower screens. Like that is, unless you're going for something off the shelf, often you can be into long lead times because these can be bespoke items. So what do people need to think about? And I might just share some of the lovely photos while you're chatting, just with bath and shower screens, if that's what they're planning.
I suppose most of the glass, the simple glass panels would be pretty much off the shelf, depending on the size. Like they vary from a
Mm,
700 mil up to 1700 to 2000 mil. So it depends on what the client is after. But at this point,
sure.
shelf, some of the crystal style ones wouldn't have too much of a long lead in time, depending on, again, sizes. Um,
Okay.
but we'd also match. So if you've got brushed brass or you've got matte black
Hmm.
towers, then we would match the glass with them as well. And those fixtures sometimes would have
Hmm.
weeks lead time. So yeah, it's important. Again, I suppose the glass is the last thing to go into the house
Yes. Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, always good to plan that. And you know, we we'll always price for it. Obviously, at the start of the project, like I said, it's the last thing to go in, so we'd like to see when the tiles are in and everything is measured up, if the glass
Hmm.
is still going to fit. And yeah, we can send it to site, or we can have fitters install it, depending on how complicated it is. We can
Hmm.
ceiling if you want, or yeah, any sort of orientation. So yeah, lots of it.
Brilliant. Yeah, amazing. And you mentioned just the specialist finishes there with brassware and sort of matching then the detailing on the shower screens with brassware. And I suppose that's something that maybe some people wouldn't think about. They think, oh, chrome is my only option for that, even though they're going for possibly black or brass taps.
Yeah,
But you guys, I'm going to share some photos. You've got the most unbelievable range of finishes, and you can literally coordinate everything, and that is really important.
it is.
Um,
I suppose, like I said to you before, up to probably a year or 2 years ago, all of the
mm,
manufacturers had up to 20 different finishes, and they've probably all kind of wheedled down to maybe 5 or 6 that are popular. But
hmm.
the goal was always to match flush plates and shower doors and all of the other elements as well. Um,
Sure.
a lot of the manufacturers have kind of jumped on board the special finishes now, and we can do the whole fit out, match everything. And then I suppose the client has to consider the other ironmongery in the bathroom, like door handles and window latches and all that sort of stuff
Hmm.
So there are light switches on the outside, or they're all kind of considerations as well that I suppose the designer will help you with, or your architect, or if you don't have either, then you need to think about that yourself.
Yeah, yeah, and really important to think about. And actually, we got a great question this morning, just somebody who had chosen, and I thought I'd be able to share the picture of the tiles. Let me just see if it didn't save for some reason, but it's she's gone for a very pale pink tile and then almost like a patterned encaustic tile for the floor. And she was asking about grout colors for that. Should she go with white or gray? And we actually did a whole chat about that recently enough with tiles, but I would definitely try and go light with the pale pink because it is very, very pale. But on the floor, because there's a lot of grey, she could go with grey, which is more practical. But you guys have a huge range of greys, don't you? In terms of colour, yeah.
Like what you said there is right, and that's what we'd probably suggest as well. But yeah, we'd have pink grout.
Here we go.
Coloured grouts are very popular as well. So that's the floor, is it?
That's the floor, and you can just see the tiny sliver of the pink. It's super pale. So, you know, she could either match that. Could you get a pink grout that colour?
You could do pale pink grout. You just, to be honest, you'd need to be careful as to how the pink grout would look against that pink tile. You're probably better off for a suggestion, even a very pale light grey, and do the same colour on both the wall and the floor.
Lovely. Yeah. Okay. And then her other question was what colour brassware to go with. So should she go with, she was asking black or brass. And I was sort of saying maybe black or a bronze might actually be a bit more timeless, you know, with that colour palette. It might give her more longevity, really.
Even this brushed black chrome, which is beautiful. Quite I don't think it's not in any of those images, but it's as dark as the matte black, and it's really, really nice. Or actually stainless steel sounds a bit
lovely. I have an image of that actually. I'll find it for you. Yeah, it's is that a stainless steel radiator, for example? Is that brushed stainless steel there?
Taps and the shower heads and all of those they're more round shapes, and they're a lot softer looking, and they're lovely. So something like that, even just something a bit different, and I think that's quite time. But the matte black as well, I think that's the stainless steel there.
That's a stainless, isn't it? And you probably see that's it again there, I think. Yeah, it's really lovely finish. It's
pink with that floor tile.
That'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? Yeah. And what's this one then, Jackie?
That's
a bronze.
That's brush black.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's lovely as well. That would give a lovely look too.
It is, yeah. And I don't think that's the one. That handle comes with a knurled effect on it as well, which is lovely.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, very, very nice.
And the shower valves can be the same detail as well.
Beautiful. Yeah. Wonderful. So many options. And what kind of lead time then would those items be on?
Stock some of them. And lead time on most of those finishes are actually only probably about 2 weeks. That's
great. Yeah.
Flush plates as well to suit all of those identical finishes. So yeah, and I suppose even with the ones where like we can get matte black glass, we can get chrome, we can get polished nickel, and we can get brushed brass glass. If we can't get the finish to match your taps, you can embed the glass into the wall, so there's no metal show.
No metal at all. Okay, that's a great idea.
That's if you're doing a wet room scenario, so you can do that. But yeah, you don't see anything at all, and that kind of solves that issue.
Brilliant. That's a great solution. Fantastic. Wonderful. And then towel radiators. So, you know, over the last few years, my God, they've almost become a statement. Like there's so many options. And we had another great question this morning from a lady who's saying that they're doing up their bathroom. They're putting in underfloor heating and just saying, do they need the towel warmer? Now, I would say yes, because I have exactly that. I've underfloor heating in the bathroom, but we have one. It's just nice to warm up the towels, really. And it's a great place to store towels. But you guys have so many options there. I'll share some photos of that as well.
Yeah, I suppose if you've underfloor heating, great. And the towel warmer is really only going to heat the towels. it's not going to heat the room anyway, because you're going to have a towel over it. And even if you didn't, there's not a huge amount of heat comes off them. The white ones actually give off the most heat. They have the highest BTUs.
Okay.
Again, even going back to the special finishes, we have rads to suit all of the finishes: the matte black, the brush brass,
Great.
white. Quite popular again when you're looking at special finishes. So, you know, if you do brass, client mightn't want to go overkill and put it everywhere. So the white rad with even just the brush brass valves is quite popular too. But yeah, we've all sorts. The Antonio Lupi actually come in a couple of different colours. That's navy.
It's lovely.
And it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's actually a fine piece in the bathroom as opposed to just a towel warmer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And this one is really cool. It's not a great photo, but I'll share these on stories afterwards. That's the one that's just,
That's from a company called Vola. So they do almost like horizontal bars, and you can choose from 2 and 3 bars on the wall up to, actually don't know, probably about 10, you know, for it to look.
Okay, yeah.
And they do it in, I think it's about 15 different colours. So you could get a pink one. Wow. And really they actually do a lot of coloured brassware as well, so you can get an orange tap and the towel warmer can match it. Shower head.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so the sky really is the limit. I mean, literally, it's as wild as you can think, you can do it. Yeah, amazing. And then this one I thought was great. That's sort of me reflected in that, but it's like a full length mirror, which is fantastic. But it's a towel radiator as well. So that was really, really lovely too. Yeah, amazing. Brilliant. And then something I would always say to people, just on the same vein then as the specialist finishes, is to buy all of the accessory components when you're buying the bathroom for a number of reasons. I suppose, you know, to finish it off and actually tie everything together, but also because the last thing you want to do is start to attempt drilling tiles or risk cracking tiles just to put the toilet roll holder up. So, you know, the builder contractor is going to be so used to doing these things. They'll have all the right kit and components to do it. So it makes sense to buy everything together.
That's it. And you know yourself, like you'll have a client who'll finish a bathroom, the accessories are forgotten about.
Yeah.
They'll get them, and the amount of times you go back or you're still on site with the client, the bathroom's finished and the toilet roll's still sitting on the cistern and the towel is on the floor and nothing is nothing. And it, you know, life gets in the way and the jobs don't get done. So yeah, good to get them at the start. Good, especially if you're doing special finishes or even chrome. Pick your taps, you've picked your shower valves, if you pick the accessories to suit those products and make and finish the room and dress it, it just looks so much better than when you don't. And like you said, the contractor is going to have all of the tools, all of the drill bits and everything to go and fit them for you, and then you just move in and hang up in your bits and pieces and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's ready to go because you're so right. People just leave it and then they're nervous about doing it, and then it's difficult to get the contractor to come back. So definitely have everything all together.
Pick the bathroom 6 months ago and it's finished and you're out looking for accessories and you can't remember, you know, what's going to work and what's going to match. And it's just, it's better off. You're better off just to do it all in one go.
Yeah, brilliant. And then something which, you know, I grew up in a house where we had lots of different coloured bathrooms, from green to blue to you name it. And you know, coloured sanitary ware now has made a massive comeback. Probably not as loud as what I would remember, but there's some amazing options actually available.
We had the blue suite at home, actually similar to that colour blue, and I've just gone and put a similar basin to that in my own house.
But that's gorgeous, Jacqueline. It's so lovely. That really is so lovely.
Yeah. And I suppose years ago, like we had a blue bath, a blue sink, a blue toilet. It was in the colour finishes. Now it's like that piece in particular there. It's just simple. It's you know, little kind of nods to the coloured sanitary ware. But we do colour toilets as well. Now I wouldn't go.
That's right. Yeah, that's one that you can see.
Kind of colours are they're quite subtle, and I suppose you're not. Let's say for argument's sake, you've got a really dark, kind of moody bathroom, and you're going for kind of that sort of fee, and you've smoked black glass, and you've got dark bowls, and kind of a dark look. Then you might want to go for something like a darker toilet, like the grey or black, just a bit white piece of ceramics standing out in the corner. So there's a place for product like that as well. But very moment, and again, less is more. So nods to the colour as opposed to everything.
Going mad. Yeah.
Coloured baths as well.
But you know what's nice about them and different from the last lot? They were, you know, because they were always either, what were they? They were kind of plastic or kind of ceramic or something. They were shiny, whereas these are matte.
Yeah, these are matte. Now we also, Chelo, one of our companies that make those products, have launched range, and it's a range of really bright yellow, orange, bright red, bright blue, bright greens, and they're vibrant colours. They're lovely. I think for the Irish market, they might suit kind of downstairs WCs. That's me personally. They are lovely, really, really nice. I prefer the matte finishes. I think they're much nicer, and they're probably a bit more timeless. I think maybe the glossy finishes are just throwing me back to.
Is that the glossy ones there? Yeah.
No, they're the matte. It's maybe just
they're matte as well, so they're ever so slightly as a slight sheen.
Yeah, they're all available in gloss colours.
Okay, yeah.
Fine to see the part down the side, but yeah, like we've got a really cool job in Dublin City. It was a bar, kind of a super pub type restaurant place, and it just hadn't opened before the lockdown, so it went. And they went for really cool aquamarine glass sinks in their in the ladies and gents toilets, and they're just usual, kind of something different and something, just a bit of a pop of colour. Really well.
No, it's great. Yeah, no, really fun. Brilliant. Great. And the other thing then you guys have, which is just beautiful, is all the storage solutions that you sell. And that there really is, you know, that they're like pieces of standalone furniture, some of them. They're absolutely beautiful. So can you tell us just about some of the things available there for people? Because storage is so important in a bathroom.
It absolutely is. Like, even, I suppose, just in terms of even just a downstairs WC for somewhere to put the spare loo clothes or whatever. But yeah, we do a lot of furniture, so you can have floor mounted or wall mounted, for overhead mirror cabinets, or even just storage presses on the side of the basin. Yeah, some of them, a bit like the likes of Cielo, Porcinosa, Antonio Lupi, make proper, decent, like you said, statement pieces, and kind of almost bespoke. Pretty much do. They offer a kind of a bespoke option, so you can get particular vanities in any size you want, with marble on the top that you want, with undermount or overmount basins, basins as well, which is solid surface material. So yeah, there's pretty much any sort of solution. There's quite a lot of clients that would actually be using bespoke joinery at the moment as well. Do the basins for you, the undermount or the bowls, or like the colour basin bit on top of that, bespoke joinery too. But, yeah, storage is important. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. No, great. And just with the basins, and actually another sort of issue that I would have seen happen, just where people are purchasing, you know, especially if they're using an existing sink, so they want to update their brassware, they're going for more statement taps, but the tap doesn't actually work with the basin. So whether the tap overshoots or the water spraying everywhere, so it just wasn't something they thought about. So what would your advice be, just to make sure that people pick something that's suitable for the sanitary ware that they have?
Yeah, I suppose if you're looking at a bowl on top of a counter, you're either going to go with one mounted taps, or you're going to go with a taller basin mixer, or short basin mixer bit. You have to be careful as well with the likes of kind of waterfall taps, or that style of filler, that doesn't overshoot the basin, or that it doesn't hit the waste and spray everywhere. It's, again, it always helps to pick everything together. Like, you know, I've had clients in the past who might have, like that, ordered just maybe the taps online, or would have, you know, kind of broken up the bathroom trying to order bits and pieces together, and it never works, because you have to think of the waste as well, the bottle trash, all of those little elements as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even for the basins, you know, if you're going for wall mounted taps, you need to make sure there's no tap holes in the basin. Kind of sounds out, but um, we've had that as well before, where you know somebody might have bought the taps, already have the sink, or you know, are using
Yeah.
the came in and bought taps, and it just just don't be thinking. So yeah, they're all important considerations as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, if you are using something, even just measure it yourself so that you can, I guess the more information people can give you guys when they're in there shopping
Yeah,
for the products, the more you can help them and kind of guarantee that the whole thing is going to work.
if we've an architectural drawing, that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure that everything is going to fit. Um,
Hmm.
Obviously, if you've got your contractor on site, you know, we can feed in all the dimensions and measurements to them and make sure that everything fits before it's all ordered.
Hmm.
And if you don't have an architect involved or a designer or a drawing, just measure it, measure the room, and just give us the locations of where everything is currently. And if everything is staying where it is, then we can kind of work around those and help as best we can to make sure everything does.
Hmm. Yeah, fantastic. That's brilliant. Fabulous. And then one other thing, actually, just thinking about that with the contractor is waterproofing and making sure that that is absolutely done properly. Because I mean, with the bathroom, it's so critical. The last thing you want is a leak. So you guys stock some fabulous products. And what's your advice for people then when, planning the bathroom?
Yeah, well, from a waterproofing point of view, you should tank your showers.
Hmm.
Roll on paint on material. That'll just seal up all of the joints, so it'll be put on the shower walls and across part of the floor in front of the shower, and it just
Hmm.
helps with water when it's penetrated through the grout. It doesn't go anywhere. You're not going to
Yeah.
end up with a mark in the ceiling on the room below. But
Hmm.
yeah, I suppose wet rooms are where we would kind of see issues if they're not installed correctly. So
Yes. Yeah.
first, if you have a contractor that you um, know that they're capable of doing the job. And again, you know, if you've any concerns at all, the alternative is to maybe go with the shower tray. And we
Yes.
we've got slate effect shower trays. We've got, again, if you're doing special finishes, we've got trays that don't have a visible waste, so you're not going to see a chrome.
Hmm.
Or we have covers for those caps as well. You know, just white covers, so you're kind of keeping everything white,
Brilliant.
ash with the special finishes and the rest of the bathroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the shower trays for even walk-in wet room kind of scenarios are really nice. So there's
Hmm.
things there. You don't have to go with the, if you do have concerns about the bathroom leaking, or you know, the still there is an option anyway. So
Mm. No, you've loads of options, and actually, we covered it pretty comprehensively in the chat we did about
yeah,
tiles a while back, so people can go and look at that. And again, Jacqueline, I'll share lots of those images with people so they can see, because there are some amazing solutions available out there. If people aren't nervous about that wet room, you've got some fabulous alternatives, which is
yeah.
really, really great. Yeah.
Traditionally, or years ago, and we said it before, that a wet room was literally a room with the shower, the toilet, the sink. It was all in the one room and nothing,
Mm-hmm.
no divisions. And
Mm.
it changed a lot over the last few years. The glass has been introduced, and it does help. You know, you
Yeah.
don't bet we don't live in Spain. You know, you don't how your house is not going to, you know, you're not walking out onto a veranda and everything's going to be dry and it's all fabulous. You
Yeah.
don't want your bathroom to be wet all day every day. So the glass is
Mm-hmm.
of just kind of keeping the whole wet room look, but just breaking it up, and you're not spending your day mopping the rest of the bathroom and drying all the
Exactly.
toilet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll help
No, that's great.
with leaks, or you know, the glass is a good way to go.
Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. And then just finally, lighting, because so important again in the bathroom. And you guys just have some beautiful options, from really discreet lights to super feature lights, So I guess in terms of, whether it's putting on makeup or creating ambience, lots and lots of options. So just to finish up, could you touch on a few of those products that people could consider?
Yeah, I suppose like we do obviously do the lit mirrors, so you can have a lit mirror or a cabinet.
Yeah.
do actual bathroom wall lights, IP rated for bathrooms, from ceiling mounted ones either side of your mirror to actual wall lights as well. Lights in your shower, lights for under the bath, lights for the side of the bath. So any sort of setup that you need. Usually, I suppose, if there's an architecture designer involved in the project, they'll usually have discussed a lighting plan, type of lights that are going to work for you, because you have to look at, like you said, if you're doing makeup in a mirror, then an overhead light is generally the worst.
Sure, yeah.
So something that needs to light your face, whether it's a circular, a ring light type effect, or side lights on your mirror. So we can have that in store anyway, but your architecture designer will have had given you good guidance on the types of lights that you're going to need. And and again, going back to the special finishes, sorry, because they are popular at the moment, we have all of those finishes as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so you really can coordinate the whole thing, and it does make such a difference. You know, it's those little details, I think, Jacqueline, that you won't notice why it all works, but you'll really notice it if they're all clashing. Like, it will stand out like a sore thumb. So
and there's even, it's funny, like there's some supplier that's a really, really good supplier of ours, and they sent out a link recently to some new products that are launching down the line. Finishes, and the overflow ring in one of the basins was chrome, and I'd say it was just somebody in the marketing department hadn't
picked it up.
These were renders and they hadn't picked it up.
I see. Yeah.
Little things like that, you know, and again, they're the sort of things that I suppose, going back to the basin conversation, even if you look at the basin in that image, there is there's no finish on it.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas another basin might have had a chrome overflow ring there, weight are the same. So coloured basins all come with their own colour matched wastes. Ceramic really cool, and that's a crayon basin, so the waste is the same finish as the basin.
And it gives
those little details. Don't think of it, it's just a basin waste. Like, sure, what difference does it make? But it actually does. When you see it, it makes a big difference.
It really does. Yeah. No, it's gorgeous, really gorgeous. Well, Jacqueline, thank you so much. That's just amazing advice for people. I said there's so many people dying to get out to the showroom now and have a look around. Like, the products are just beautiful. And yeah, no, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for giving up your time.
We've a bit of working on at the moment, and we've a lot of exciting changes happening in the next couple of weeks and into January. Actually, we've a new brand coming on board called XT, which is a really unusual bathroom manufacturer. So lots of changes all the time, and new year, lots of new things. So come in.
Very exciting. Thank you so much. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too. Lovely to see you again.
You too. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.